Hey, I'm Chris. I'm a gearhead and I live in Las Vegas. Now, I usually have two channels, and on both of the channels, I do something different. On one channel, I talk about synthesizers and gear and Keytars and basically old gear from the 1980s. On the second channel, I talk about my history in comparative religion and ghost hunting and different cults that I've been in Las Vegas. Now, usually one is stories about the paranormal, and the other channel is stories about Keytars and synthesis and the 1980s and equipment. So, as funny as it sounds, both of those things are completely different and have nothing to do with each other. But this story ties them both together. So most likely this video will end up on both of my channels, and I've never done that before, so I hope you follow along and dig it. So this weekend on Saturday night, I was entered into the 2022 Las Vegas Condom Couture competition. And what is Condom Couture? Condom Couture is clothes and accessories and lingerie made from condoms. Now, usually they use expired condoms. You can use your designs on however way you want. You can make clothes. You can make accessories. You can make hats. You can do whatever you like with the condoms. You could take already constructed clothes and add condoms on top of them for your design. So, I don't know if you've ever seen this in design competitions. They have it every year where you can make prom dresses and tuxedos out of duct tape. So if you've ever seen that competition, it's very much the same. I would suggest looking up Condom Couture, or I'll leave a link to Condom Couture underneath the description of this video and tell me what you think. So, this year for Condom Couture, I didn't bring a whole lot of energy into this competition. Number one, I was hella late into signing up for the registration for this competition. Basically, what you do is you sign up for registration, you have a design, you go pick up your condoms, you ask for, I don't know, several hundred condoms or 1,000 condoms. They're usually expired condoms. And you take the condoms, you incorporate that into your design. Now, I didn't sign up for this thing until 2 weeks before the competition, and I didn't pick up my condoms for my design until 3 days before the end of the competition, and I didn't come up with my design until 2 days before the competition. Now, if you could time travel back with me to when we were in high school, do you remember when you had a science fair and it was mandatory? And you had 6 to 8 weeks to work on your science project. And let's say 2 days before your science project is due, you remember that you have a science project that you need to get done, and all you have at home is poster board, yarn, pipe cleaner, and glue. Okay, so that is my life right now. 2 days before the Condom Couture competition, I had glue and I had condoms and I had no ideas whatsoever. So, ta-da! So, I work at a clinic, and for the last 2 days before the competition, all I did at clinic was glue condoms onto a Keytar and onto a hat, and I'm sure my bosses thought I was completely, totally shithouse crazy insane. But they never wrote me up for it, and they never questioned me for it. I told them, yes, this is for a competition I'm doing this weekend, and that was the end of it. No more inquiry. Hey, you're the new guy. Why are you gluing condoms onto that thing? During office hours. Obviously, the bar has been set so low at my job. All I have to do is just show up and not steal. And I do that anyway at every job. I just show up and I don't steal, and then I expect to get patted on the back for all my hard work. So, when it comes to my design, I will show you 2 previous Keytar designs that I had done, so you will understand that yes, I have done this before. I have made Keytar designs before. What the hell possessed me to do this one? Now, let me show you what I got. So right here, I've got the RK100 from 1984 Korg. This is the Korg RK100. I decorated this Keytar right before my wedding I was ridiculously nervous right before I was about to get married. So I spray painted my Keytar, my favorite Keytar from the 1980s, green, and I glued a whole bunch of punk spikes to it and bracelets and stuff like that. And I pasted up a whole bunch of punk rock stickers, and I glued fringe onto my Keytar. So this is what I did to kill stress because I was scared to death right before my wedding. And I'm going to show you this guy up close as well. So this guy, this big old guy is my Korg RK100 from 1984. Again, a completely different angle. You can see the fringe up and down on the neck. You can see fringe on the top. You can see fringe on the bottom. And of course you can see the spikes. You can see punk rock stickers, both on the back and on the front. RK100, 1984. Again, I decorated this when I was about to get married and I was just shaking in my boots out of nervousness, right? So this guy is the RK100S. 2014, the RK100S. I guess a good 30 years later from the RK100. This is covered in rhinestones and glitter from my wedding as well, but I believe I put this together 2 weeks after the wedding. We had a whole bunch of centerpieces on each table covered in rhinestones, and I noticed that the rhinestones were coming off of the centerpieces 2 weeks after we had packed up our wedding. So I took off the rhinestones from the centerpieces and I decided to glue them onto my Keytar just to make my RK100S look prettier. And glamour, glitter, fashion, fame. Basically, it was a homage to the 80s as well. You could see intricate pattern in there. From far away on a stage, when you shine light at it, it looks beautiful, it looks sparkly, it looks like stars. Up close, you can see clumps of glue. You can see how it's not lined up perfectly. But you know what? Far away, it looks pretty damn pretty. It looks damn pretty. Now this takes you, or takes us, to my entry for Condom Couture. Now, again, fashion made out of condoms. I was at a loss. It was 2 days before the contest, Saturday night. I didn't even want to go to the bar. I didn't even believe in my design. I thought that I was going to basically I thought I would get laughed off stage because I'd looked up on the internet Condom Couture. I'd seen designs that other people had done in the past, and oh my gosh, the intricate designs that could be done on garments with condoms is pretty damn amazing. So honestly, because I'm a child of the 80s, when they said Condom Couture, and because I live in a room filled with synthesizers and Keytars, the first thing I heard in my head was Condom Couture, condom, Keytar, condom, Keytar. So I had the idea to take a Keytar of mine, maybe not one of my more favorite Keytars, cover it with condoms and fringe in the name of the 80s, and then just go to the bar dressed like that. And not even be serious, just be campy and not let it be like a serious design, like something that I would hand sew or do like some intricate like bodice covered in condoms. No, it was just going to be a Keytar covered in fringe and in condoms in the name of the 80s and maybe even Lady Gaga. Now, if you're a fan of Lady Gaga and you've seen her Monster Ball tour and you've seen all the Keytars that, if you Google Lady Gaga Keytars, you'll see all the different intricate designs that she used for her Roland Keytars during the Monster Ball tour. So she's got one that's completely covered in fringe or hair, and I took that idea and I covered my Yamaha Sonogenic with fringe in order to kind of steal that idea. And because it's a condom Keytar test, condom contest, I covered the Yamaha Sonogenic with Joe Lube condoms, if you could see on the body there. And I didn't use a lot of them. I tried to use a whole bunch of them. They kept falling off, dude. So I covered the Keytar strap with blue and yellow condoms up and down. See, as you can see right here. And on the back, blue and yellow. Now, why blue and yellow? Because I've got Ukraine and the war in Ukraine on my mind, so that's the reason I use yellow, even though it doesn't go with the idea of the 80s or Condom Couture or even Keytars. For some reason, Ukraine is on my mind. So I covered a Keytar, not so very well, with condoms and fringe, and I made a matching hat and a bag. So on stage, I go on stage with a bag made out of used condoms and a matching hat that I made to match the bag, which is really just an old fedora that I covered again with the blue and yellow condoms because Ukraine is on my mind. And because there was an 80s theme, I put fringe on the back, not on the front, but on the back of the hat, in order to simulate the idea of a mullet. So it's like a mullet hat. And you would think, yeah, you did the fringe to match the Keytar. No, I did the fringe on the hat to make it a mullet hat. Like, really, that's exactly what I did. So at the time of the contest, my hair was up, tucked into this hat, but I had it down. I had my hair tucked into the hat. I had the fringe hanging down. I was wearing a nice button-up outfit with a tie and walked up on stage with these condoms, and they're and I won. Basically, I won in my division. And here is the proof. Condom Couture 2022, Las Vegas. Presented by the center, the LGBTQ Center of Las Vegas. I used to volunteer there. I never really officially worked there. I wanted to get a job there, but honestly, it worked out because I got a job in public health. And I respect everything that the center does, and I was very happy to be a part of this fundraiser for them. But at the same time, I did not expect to win this contest whatsoever. Again, I went in with like this much effort and this much of a result from that effort, and I won. I won the contest, and what I can't understand is how I won, because obviously I didn't put too much work into my design. I only worked on it in 2 days, and I didn't work on it for the entirety of the 2 days. That's for damn sure. I did it half of it at work while I was on the clock. But I will say I was very happy because the woman, the fine drag queen that won the evening wear competition of Condom Couture is also a drag queen from RuPaul's Drag Race, Elliot with 2 T's. So I got to share the stage at the end of the night when we got our awards with Elliot with 2 T's from RuPaul's Drag Race. They took a whole bunch of pictures. It was really groovy. I dug it. And they gave out roses. Roses made out of condoms. Tell me that ain't cute. See, I should have thought of that, dude, for my design. If I do Condom Couture next year, I will definitely steal this idea, the roses made out of condoms, and like use them as bows on some kind of outfit. But look, little roses on a pencil made out of condoms. So, whew, what is the universe trying to tell me? Could it possibly be try, even though you don't think you're going to be successful, just try anyway, just show up at the club. By the way, I just didn't even want to go to the club. I didn't even want to go to the club. I was embarrassed. I knew that this wasn't going to win. I knew that I didn't put much effort into this design whatsoever. But I went anyway just because I told friends I was going to be at that bar. What do you think the universe would be trying to tell me? Do as little effort as possible and expect to get like optimum results? Because that's been happening to me my entire life. No matter how talented I am, sometimes if I just put this much effort into something, I will get success, which is really ridiculous and isn't really teaching me hard work whatsoever. But I'm more than happy to share this story with you guys. It's a little bit of a funny story from my everyday life, and it's a little bit of a funny story having to do with keytars and synthesizers and my love for the 1980s. So much love, health, hugs, happiness, harm reduction from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Chris. I just won Condom Couture, and much love out there for you from Las Vegas.